Good morning, guys. Today, I just wanted to use the screenshot recording. This way, anyone who's absent can go home and review the vocabulary. Or if you're absent and you just want to do it at home, that's fine as well. If you missed the lesson, I just want to go over the next 10 words. Where you're looking at the vocabulary be numbers 31 through 40, and I'll quickly go through these different words. Okay, the first word that we have here is discredit. And discredit means to harm a reputation or to dishonor. So, an example of that would be if a politician tries to discredit another politician by saying that they were lying or that they did something immoral or that when they were mayor or governor or whenever they were a politician, they did something wrong. So to discredit means to harm a reputation or to dishonor. Next word is disdain. This is a very strong, a very negative word. It has a negative connotation, and it means to judge that someone is unworthy of respect. And sometimes it's used to as another way of saying to hate. So an example of that would be if um, one person treats another person with a lot of disdain because that one person thinks that the other person is a really, really bad person and doesn't deserve respect and just doesn't deserve to be treated well. So if you treat someone with a lot of disdain, that means you really, really don't respect them and that you really dislike them. Next word is divergent. Divergent. Well, this is actually a word that is kind of related to convergence. We had that in our last set. So convergence means the joining or coming together of parts. Well, divergent, this time divergent is the opposite. Divergent means it goes separate ways, it breaks apart, it splits apart. Okay, moving apart. Example of this would be is if one line splits off into two lines, that's a divergent line. Okay, or if you have a large group of people and all of a sudden that group splits into two groups or three groups, then it's divergent. That's what's being described there. All right, the next word, empathy. Empathy is kind of like sympathy, okay? It is showing emotion to show that you understand, that you can share feelings. So, the ability to understand and share feelings. Empathy means that you can feel what other people are feeling. So, if someone is sad, really, really upset about maybe their father or mother or their pet dying, if you were to show empathy, that means that you are able to feel their feelings, that you understand what it feels like to lose someone or something that you love. It's a little bit different than sympathy. Sympathy is just feeling bad for someone else. Okay, so if someone lost their pet, then sympathy is actually just feeling bad for them, kind of like pity. Um, Empathy is actually sharing that same feeling. Emulate, okay, emulate's a verb and it means to kind of like copy or imitate, okay, to match by imitation. So if you are at a sports practice, like a football practice or volleyball practice, and the coach or the trainer says, all right, you guys have to emulate my movements, all right, emulate my technique of how to shoot the ball, how to throw the ball, how to spike the ball, so on and so forth. If you emulate it, emulate those movements, what you're doing is you're matching the technique by imitation. You're imitating. Next word, enervating. Enervating. Enervating um, means like you're losing all of your energy. Okay, it describes the fact that you're drained. Okay, causing one to feel drained of energy. So, for an example, some people might say that really, really, really humid, hot weather can be enervating because it just feels like you're dragging and you have no energy, you can't do anything. Certain people can cause other people to feel enervating if they really just drain the life out of you. Okay, so enervating means causing one to feel drained of energy. Next, enhance. Enhance means to improve or make better. All right, to change for the better. Um, and a lot of times we enhance our work to make it better. You'll see this word used quite often nowadays when they refer to like sports, when athletes try to enhance their performance in sports. Oftentimes they'll take steroids or what they call performance enhancing drugs. Performance enhancing drugs. So they're taking drugs to make them improve their performance. Okay, so when you think of enhance, you should think of improving. All right, the next word, listen carefully, ephemeral. Ephemeral. Okay, ephemeral. Ephemeral means kind of just like a something. It describes something that only lasts a very short time. So, or a momentary, fleeting, evanescent. However, let's focus on just lasting for a short time or momentary. An example of that would be like like a feeling. You know, you might have an ephemeral feeling of sadness. Okay, so maybe you got really upset, and if you describe feeling, um, the feeling, the ephemeral feeling of sadness, that means it only lasted a short amount of time. Okay, so whenever something's ephemeral, it's short. Okay, it like comes and goes. All right, evanescent is very similar to ephemeral. Um, Evanescent, however, usually refers to an image of something. So sometimes evanescent is referred to as like a ghost, right? Something that you see that comes and goes. Like a ghost or spirit is often described as evanescent, right? Maybe you thought you saw like a spirit off to the corner, an evanescent spirit. Or maybe you saw a mirage in the desert, an oasis in the desert, all right? And it appeared, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. Those are the types of things that are evanescent, okay? Images. And the last word is exasperation. Okay, exasperation means that you're just completely irritated and frustrated. All right, so an example of that would be like if your parents come home and everything's a mess and they had a really bad day at work, and your brother or sister is, got in trouble at school and everything's just going bad, then you could describe your parents as extremely exasperated. Okay, exasperation is just the state that they're in. State that your parents would be in a state of exasperation. All right, so those are the next 10 words. After this, I'll try to do another video for the next couple words, and I'll post this on the website so that if you just want to kind of review it, you can just watch this.